Loving yourself is not selfish, it's necessary. But here's the truth, most people you know don't actually love themselves. And maybe you don't either. That might sound harsh, but think about it. Self-love isn't about mirror selfies or inspirational quotes. It's about how you treat yourself when no one is watching, especially when everything is falling apart. And I'm going to tell you something no one ever told you. You're allowed to treat yourself with kindness, even when you feel like a failure. That's not weakness, that's strength. The problem is, we've been taught that loving ourselves means pushing harder, demanding more, never slowing down. But what if true self-love begins the moment you stop punishing yourself for not measuring up? Today, you're going to see why the smallest acts of care are more powerful than any outside success. You'll understand why your inner critic is destroying you. And most importantly, you'll leave with a clear way to change all of that, one step at a time. And the first one, you take it right now. So go ahead, subscribe to this channel. This journey is yours, and I'm here to walk it with you. Have you looked in the mirror today? I mean, really looked. Not just to fix your hair or check your face. I'm talking about looking at yourself like you would a longtime friend. Someone who's been through a lot, who's still here, still trying. Ever wondered why it's so easy to be kind to others, yet so hard to show that same kindness to yourself? Maybe it's because no one ever taught you that self-love is a practice, not a personality trait. It starts with one small step. Self-love doesn't mean loving yourself all the time. That's not even possible, not for anyone. It means not abandoning yourself when things get hard. It's choosing not to tear yourself down when you're already struggling. It is learning to speak to yourself with the same care you'd offer someone you truly love. Because at the end of the day, if you're not on your side, who will be? The definition of self-love looks different for everyone, but it always starts with respect. Respect for your needs, your energy, your story. It might be saying no to something that drains you. It might be forgiving yourself for something you regret. It might just be taking a deep breath and giving yourself a break. Self-love isn't loud. It's not flashy. It shows up quietly in how you treat yourself when no one else is watching. Some people think self-love has to be big, that it has to look like grand achievements, public affirmations, or constant positivity. But the truth is, real self-love lives in the little things. It's choosing to get some sleep instead of scrolling until 2 in the morning. It's saying no and dealing with the discomfort. It's eating slowly, breathing deeply, giving yourself grace when everything feels heavy. We're taught to believe that self-love comes from a big breakthrough. But sometimes, it's just about taking one small step. You don't need to change your entire life to start caring for yourself. You need to change the way you talk to yourself. Swap harshness for patience, judgment for curiosity. Every small choice is a seed, a kind word, a breath of self-respect. And that is not just a gesture, that's a mindset. So let me ask you this, how did you speak to yourself the last time you messed up? Did you tear yourself down? Did you question your worth? Now imagine someone you love in the same situation. Would you say those same words to them? Self-love isn't about avoiding mistakes. It's about choosing every time to respond to yourself with compassion. And that's a decision you can start making right now. Have you ever noticed how what works for someone else doesn't always work for you? Some people find peace in a morning run. Others need silence or a warm cup of tea before bed. Self-love isn't one size fits all. It's personal, deeply personal. And discovering what feeds your spirit, what brings you back to yourself, is part of the journey. No one else can do that for you. It's so easy to fall into the comparison trap. She meditates every morning. He reads 4 books a month. They post positive quotes every day. And then you start to feel like you're not doing enough. But real self-love doesn't follow a script. Sometimes it means staying home instead of going out just to please others. Sometimes it's accepting that your pace is quieter, slower, and still full of meaning. There's something powerful in embracing your uniqueness. To love yourself is to know yourself, to honor your own rhythm, your own preferences, your own limits. When you stop chasing someone else's version of self-love and start asking, what does it mean for me? Everything changes. You stop trying to fit in. You start learning to belong, and you belong most deeply to yourself. When you neglect self-love, your inner world begins to crumble quietly. Your mind doesn't shout right away. It whispers. It starts with a tiredness that won't go away, a sense of irritation, a growing desire to disconnect. And if you don't catch those signals with care, they start to grow. Mental health isn't just about therapy or medication. It's also about the way you treat yourself every single day. Think about how many times you've betrayed your own needs just to feel accepted. You ignored your limits. You said yes when you wanted to say no. You swallowed your truth to avoid conflict. That kind of self-abandonment is exhausting. It wears you down, and the body always knows. Anxiety builds. Confidence crumbles. Self-love is what anchors you. It reminds you your needs matter too. It's not about feeling happy all the time. It's about staying by your side even when you're not okay. It's about recognizing that you deserve care even when you feel broken, that you don't have to be doing well to be worthy of kindness. Mental health isn't the absence of struggle. It's the presence of support, and the first person who needs to offer that support is you. Imagine fighting a battle every single day and being attacked by the one person who is supposed to have your back. Sounds brutal, right? But that's exactly what happens when your inner voice becomes your worst critic. The one who tears you down instead of lifting you up. You don't need another enemy. You need an ally, someone who stands by you when life gets heavy. And that someone is you. Being your own ally doesn't mean denying your flaws or pretending everything's fine. It means correcting yourself with care instead of cruelty. Holding yourself accountable with love, not shame. Life gets easier when you stop making war with yourself. It doesn't get perfect, but it becomes bearable. Because even in chaos, you know you're not alone. You're standing with you. And here's the real shift. When you become your own ally, you stop chasing validation from people who don't see you. You stop twisting yourself into someone you're not. You start trusting your own voice. That inner compass you've been ignoring. It finally gets a chance to guide you. You've always had it. Self-love just reminds you to listen and stay. A lot of people wait for a big breakthrough before they start caring for themselves. But here's the truth. Care begins in the smallest choices. Turning off your phone earlier, drinking water, letting yourself enjoy a meal without guilt. Going for a walk, not because you have to, but because it feels good. These little habits are the bricks that build emotional resilience. And you deserve that kind of foundation. Maybe you're waiting to feel stable before you allow yourself to rest. But what if it's rest that helps you find stability? Simple routines like listening to your favorite song or sitting in silence for 5 minutes are powerful. They tell your nervous system, I see you, I've got you. Even when life feels unrecognizable, these quiet moments of care become your lifeline. They ground you. Because when you start practicing those small acts, something inside you begins to shift. It's not about luxury or having extra time. It's about presence. It's about choosing to say, I matter. I'm allowed to pause. Even if the world doesn't stop to notice, I will. Sometimes a warm drink, a good song, or just a deep breath is enough to remind you that you are worth the effort. Self-love lives there. The world celebrates big wins, the promotions, the milestones, the headlines, but no one claps when you drag yourself out of bed after a sleepless night. No one sees you holding back tears just to get through a meeting, or calming yourself down so you don't snap at someone you love. And yet you keep going. You get through the day. That right there is quiet heroism. Being a hero doesn't mean having it all figured out. It means continuing when you're unsure, scared, or exhausted. It means showing up without knowing how it will turn out. Every day you finish is a silent victory. And if no one told you this lately, I am telling you now, I see you. I see the strength it takes just to keep going. That's not weakness, that's resilience. That's real self-love. Have you given yourself credit for that lately? Have you honored how far you've come, not just in goals, but in surviving? Because some days that's all it is, surviving. And that is enough. You don't need applause, but you do need acknowledgement. Even if it's just you, quietly telling yourself, I did it, I made it through today. That's power, that's grace, that's the beginning of healing. You know that voice in your head? The one that narrates everything you do? It can either build you up or tear you apart. If that voice is constantly criticizing you, it's not helping, it's harming. And the worst part? You've probably started believing it. But here's the truth. Just because that voice is loud doesn't mean it's right. And you have the power to teach it a new language, one of kindness. Think about how you talk to yourself when you mess up. Do you shame yourself? Call yourself names? Now imagine someone you love in the exact same situation. Would you say those same words to them? Probably not, so why say them to yourself? Your inner voice can become your greatest source of healing, but only if you start speaking to yourself with the compassion you offer everyone else. This isn't about being delusional or sugarcoating life. It's about balance, being honest without being cruel. Saying to yourself, yes, you made a mistake, but you're still worthy. You're still learning. Let's try again. That's the kind of voice that keeps you going, that helps you grow. And once you hear it often enough, you'll start believing in something you forgot a long time ago, your own goodness. We spend so much of our lives chasing an illusion, to always be composed, successful, liked, strong. But who said that's what it means to be worthy? Perfection is a myth, a cruel one. You weren't born to be flawless. You were born to feel, to try, to fail, to grow. Life isn't about getting everything right. It's about staying kind to yourself when things go wrong. Being imperfect isn't a flaw. It's proof you're alive, that you're in the process, that you're trying. What matters most isn't it having all the answers. It is showing up for yourself in the middle of the mess. You don't need to have it all together to be worthy of love. You just need to be there with yourself. That's care. That's what gets you through the hard days. And that's where self-love starts to grow. Not in perfect moments, but in honest ones. You don't wake up one day magically full of confidence. You build it. Day by day, kind word by kind word, with patience, with grace, because what holds you up isn't having the perfect life. It's having the courage to care for yourself anyway, especially when you don't feel like you deserve it. So now let me ask you, what is one small thing you can do for yourself today? It doesn't have to be dramatic. Maybe it's saying no to something that drains you. Maybe it's making your favorite meal or stepping outside for 5 quiet minutes. Maybe it's just breathing deeply and reminding yourself that you made it through another day. The action can be simple. The message is powerful. I matter. You've already survived more than most people will ever know. You've kept going through heartbreaks, disappointments, fears, and doubts, and you're still here. That alone is reason enough to treat yourself with tenderness. So stop waiting for the perfect time to start caring. You can begin now with one small act of love. It doesn't have to fix everything. It just needs to remind you that you are not giving up on yourself. Because in the end, what holds you together isn't what happens outside of you. It's what you choose to build within. And every act of care, no matter how small, is a brick in the foundation of your healing. So pick something today, something just for you, not to impress anyone, not to check a box, but to whisper to your soul, I'm still here, and I'm learning to stay. If this spoke to you, like really hit you where it matters, don't keep it to yourself. Like this video, comment below, share it with someone who needs it. And if you haven't yet, subscribe, because this space is about healing, growing, and remembering that self-love is not a luxury, it's a lifeline. And if you're still here, comment the word worthiness below so I know you stayed until the end. That one word says everything you need to remember. You are worthy, you always have been. Now it's time to act like it. Let's meet again next time, and until then, take care of yourself. You deserve that much.